Rox sat on the couch with him, her laptop weighing on her legs. The battery on the left side was getting hot on her thigh. Cash was still sore, his arms scraped up, and his eyelids were still lavender and yellow with bruises. That white bandage taped to his cheek reminded her of his car flying through the air and his blood splashed on the airbags and spreading over his car's seat. But watching television and working on contracts at night was becoming unbearable. Sitting on the couch with him, so near him, feeling the heat from his body trickling through the air-conditioned room and detecting the faint scent of his cologne when he moved, was familiar and yet utterly foreign. It was nudging at their boundaries, the boundaries that had allowed them to work together for 3 years with no problems. When they traveled for work on planes, they chose a movie together and then synchronized, tapping the start button so that they could laugh at the jokes together or jump at the scary parts at the same time. One time he had gotten the giggles so badly at a madcap comedy that she had had to pound him on the back while he coughed as the plane was landing. Another time, they had watched one of those scary serial killer movies where a guy was running around killing all the pretty young women and using their body parts for unspeakable horrors, and Rox had gotten so psyched out that all men had looked like creepy killers to her for about 20 minutes, except Cash. That time, when they had gotten off the plane, Rox had practically pinned herself to his side, though she didn't put her arm around him nor let him tuck her under his arm. That was too much for work colleagues. Their rolly suitcases had nudged each other as they hurried down the tunnel to the terminal. Every time she had looked up at him, he had been watching her and blocking the crowd around her, keeping her safe. But now, sitting in his windowless television room, deep in his house, she was uneasy. It wasn't that she didn't feel safe. She felt perfectly safe with Cash. She always felt perfectly safe with Cash. She wasn't sure that he was safe with her. Sure, they sat side by side facing the television. Sure, they were just watching a funny movie that was a romantic comedy, probably. She wasn't actually watching it much. Sure, the leading actor kind of looked like Cash with his brilliant green eyes and strong cheekbones and jaw, but quite honestly, the actor's abs weren't as defined as Cash's ripped torso. Not that the lumps of his abs were clearly pronounced under his snug blue t-shirt or anything. Not that she was looking at those masculine lumps of muscle. Not that any heterosexual female could help but sneak a look at the mounds of his firm flesh that shifted under the thin blue fabric of his shirt every time he breathed. If the man sitting next to her had been anyone but Cash, she would have had fantasies about leaning over, lifting his shirt and licking the bricks of his abdominal muscles. But not Cash, she reminded herself. No way.